Some people go backpacking for some reasons, they want to go discover themselves, spiritual journeys or whatever. And for me, it was nothing really like that. It was just to get out and see the world. But coming to Malaysia was the first time that I'd ever really had any interactions with any Muslims. And to be honest, my first impression of Muslims in Malaysia anyway was like, wow, this is completely different to what you see in the media. Maybe there's more that meets the eye to being a Muslim and to Islam as a religion. I think what faith means to me is different than people who were born a Muslim, because I've been through all of these things before and I know how easy it is to go back into those bad routines if you don't have something like faith.
Apa khabar masa kita setengah kita bagi tak? Bagi? Bagi tak?
Ramai betul lah pemilihan awak dan
Ya tak?
kan?
Dua balik kampung tau. Balik kampung halaman memang. Betul tak?
Saya ambil pelah bapak kaki.
Sekarang macam pergi interview, sekejap lagi kita akan menyebutkan itu.
Itu dia. Baik, okey. Okey, terima kasih. Baik.
Itu lah, kenapa bila orang sewa, kenapa kat dia jangan tolak dia dekat pantai, tepi pantai, jangan tolak dia dekat batu hadung.
One of the newspapers reached out and said they wanted to come do an interview with me. I was just like, why? How would you know about me? So they were the ones that showed me the videos. And at the time, it maybe got like 200,000 views or something that it got on YouTube. And it was like a snowball effect. Like I had one interview with one newspaper reaching out. Once that got published, then another interview, and then radio, and then TV.
Hey guys, Assalamualaikum. Dalam program Mak dan Kaki Jalan ni, kita nak main game water polo. Si Terengganu.
Jalan Afrika!
Some people go backpacking for some reasons, they want to go discover themselves, spiritual journeys or whatever. And for me, it was nothing really like that. It was just to get out and see the world. But coming to Malaysia was the first time that I'd ever really had any interactions with any Muslims. And to be honest, my first impression of Muslims in Malaysia anyway was like, wow, this is completely different to what you see in the media. Maybe there's more that meets the eye to being a Muslim and to Islam as a religion. I arrived in Terengganu at say 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. There was nobody around, completely quiet, like a ghost town. There was like this one building there, read the signboard. It had Surau written on it, which I didn't know what it meant at the time. But I just saw that, okay, this might be a place just for me to lie down for a minute. And I got woken up, at around sort of sunrise time. I got woken up by somebody in a white robe with like a hat on. He came and he had a pillow, and he gave me a pillow, and he sort of instructed me. I couldn't speak Malay, he couldn't speak English, but sort of instructed me just to, take this pillow and carry on sleeping. In what world, where can you fall asleep on somebody's doorstep, basically, and they will come out and give you a pillow? No, you just don't do it. It's just, you wouldn't do it. But it happened to me in Malaysia, and a Muslim did it. When you're backpacking alone and you haven't got the securities of a local place, of friendly faces that you know, family, when you find somewhere that you feel safe and you feel like the people around you are genuine and you feel happy there, it's quite difficult to move on. It's quite difficult to leave. I started working and helping out there. So I was living in the staff quarters, and it was me, I was the only white guy. I'm just in the room when they go off and they're praying in the corner. And then Friday, they're all going off to the mosque. So after a while, it would just it intrigued me. And a few of them would speak to me. And then it just started getting the cogs sort of moving and getting me thinking, okay, maybe there is something to this religion, and maybe I belong in this religion. I've always thought that we never just came here by chance, and there must have been something that made us. In the UK, in school, I never really got the answer that I was looking for. And it was when I came to Malaysia that the oneness, the dedication to just the one God, the one being that is the be all and end all. It sort of just struck a chord with me. I've always imagined that there's something that is above us that put us all here and made all of this able to happen. I didn't want to convert straight away and then look back on it as just something I didn't want to do. I wanted to get rid of my sort of old habits. So things like, drinking alcohol and everything, I gave that up a good 18 months beforehand. The conversion period, and then of course I spoke to my parents, said I was going to do it. They were happy.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله.
Faith, it means to me always knowing that whatever you do, there's always something and some higher being watching you, looking out for you, keeping you in check, and making sure that you don't sort of slip back into other ways. What faith means to me is different than people who were born a Muslim, because I've been through all of these things before and I've done it, and I know how easy it is to go back into those bad routines if you don't have something like faith.
Kita dah pernah duduk ni tau?
Duduk sana.
Lambat 4 jam eh? Are you sure?
Tidur.
My wife knows me better than I know myself. She can just take one look at me and know what kind of mood I'm in. She's the mother of my 2 amazing children. She sacrificed a hell of a lot for me. I've also sacrificed a lot for her, but that's what marriage is. I don't think I would be where I am spiritually and also sort of even career-wise if it wasn't to have her at home to come back to and her sort of guiding me through. Nak makan croissant tak?
Nak.
Nak eh? I think for anybody raising children is a challenge, but for me in terms of teaching them and their faith, I mean, I'm lucky having a wife who knows the Quran and knows what she's doing. So she at the same time can teach me and then also can teach the kids as well. I think sometimes there's a lot of ego involved, especially from like the male side of it's like it's embarrassing or you don't want it to be learning from your wife. But at the end of the day, why would I have somebody who's with me 24 hours a day who can teach me? I'd love to be the one that is teaching my kids this and that, but I'm not at that level yet. But I have a wife who is. Oh. Okay, snowman. You don't even know what that is. I'm the head of the family. I have to be the one to teach them, to show them the ropes, basically. So yeah, it's definitely made me realize that and made me want to learn so I can sort of pass it on to my boys and show them what it is to be a good Muslim. Yeah, definitely strengthened my faith a little bit, yeah.
Allahu Akbar.
I'd say that Islam and my faith has definitely made me more mature, probably, which in turn has then probably made me more ambitious. Being able to step back and see how much better my life is now than it was before. And Islam is being the sort of the guiding factor in that, then it just makes me realize how lucky and how much I really appreciate and how thankful that I am that I came to find this faith at an age where I was still relatively young. I dread to think, to be honest, where I would be if it wasn't for Islam and it wasn't for finding Malaysia and all of this. I don't even want to think about where I would be, to be honest. Probably wouldn't be in a brilliant or amazing place. everybody that you're taught to in Islam is still learning you. It's not as if it's a maths textbook and once you finished it, you're done. You know your ABCs or you know your 1, 2, 3s. No, everybody's always learning and bettering themselves. Islam is a very spiritual religion. You stop getting stressed out so much, you stop getting so impatient, and you realize that actually everything is where it's meant to be, and everything does happen for a reason for me. So as long as I keep myself on that path, then everything should be fine. I am Ma'dan, and I am Muslim.